Hello everyone, I'm Angela Chai and today I'm going to talk about understanding intercultural transitions. The subtopic that I choose to do is intercultural interview. So, by understanding the process of adaptation in intercultural transitions, it depends on several dialectical tensions. We think about the privilege, disadvantage, dialectics, structure, some kinds of intercultural transitions as it shapes the intercultural migrant's identity and the changes that this identity undergoes. Besides that, we also involve personal contextual dialectics. Often, people might find it difficult to adapt into a new cultural context and to be culturally competent by behaving in ways that may be contradictory to their personal identities. So, this dialectic calls for a balance between the individual and the contextual demand. Moreover, we also have to identify the two types of migrant groups: voluntary migrants and the involuntary migrants. Voluntary migrants are the people who move into a new country by will and it is optional. There are two groups of voluntary travelers: sojourners and immigrants. Sojourners are the people who move into a new country for a limited period of time and for a specific purpose such as study or business. They have freedom and means to travel. Immigrants are the people who move into a new country, region, or environment to settle down more or less permanently. As for the involuntary migrants, where they were forced to move to another country, there are two types of migrants that move involuntarily: long-term refugees and short-term refugees. Long-term refugees are the people who are forced to relocate permanently because of war, famine, and oppression. As for the short-term refugee are the people who are forced to a short time to move from their region or country. According to Martin and Nakayama, 2013, they say that as individuals encounter new cultural contexts, they have to adapt to some extent. I have interviewed a friend of mine who came from abroad to further her studies in Malaysia. So in the interview, you guys will hear about her suggestions, opinions, and her thoughts on the process of adjusting to life in Malaysia.
One of the things that is quite hard for people when they first come here to adjust is the way people talk. Sometimes slang can be hard to understand for someone that is new here. Also, maybe a lot of food, some of it is for example, they serve the fish and it's the head is on and everything. So for some people, especially Westerners, they're not used to seeing food served this way. They're used to maybe fish fillet and stuff like that. Also, I think traffic, the way people drive. People here drive very differently from people in the States, to be honest. In the States, people are more not so rushing on the road and not so reckless, I guess. People here, they tend to cut more and drive in the emergency lane and stuff like that. So yeah. I guess things that help the adjustment process, for example in my case, I came to an international school, but my international school pretty much it was mostly Malaysian. So I think when they find that they have someone that is international with them, they tend to maybe their slang will be less a bit, and they try to talk in better English so that you can understand, and maybe they use less BM words and Chinese words because they try and help you, but eventually they also share with you some of their culture and so that you can sort of fit in. I guess one way that Malaysians could help international people to adjust is try and get to know the other person's culture and stuff so that they're a bit more familiar with how people outside of Malaysia are. And at the same time as you learn about the other person's culture, you also try and explain your culture to them so that they don't feel so alienated. So instead of just bringing them around suddenly, try and explain what's happening and teach them about all the different things. That way that they can understand what's going on. And I think that would be something that Malaysians could do better, is try and familiarize themselves with other cultures rather than just their own culture. I think hospitality is another issue. I feel that maybe like Malaysian people like working in like hotels or restaurants and stuff a bit shy, so they don't really like want to say much, but it would help if like you would be more outgoing and stuff, like talk to people, because people from Western countries are more used to people like being more attentive, like making conversation with them and stuff.